God is the giver of the bread of life. In our first reading from Exodus, God provides the Israelites the manna from heaven as they journey to the land of Canaan, the land of milk and honey. There actually is a real manna to be found in the desert. It comes from the tamarisk shrub, which is a small tree, and it's found all over the Middle East in the desert. Insects feed on the tree's sap, and their secretion is a sort of liquid, sugary substance. In the evening, it hardens, and the liquid hardens and forms these white granules. The white granules, or what the Israelites called the white flakes, then are collected and made into bread. This is the miraculous food from heaven that sustained the people of Israel on their way to the promised land. The miracle was the immense quantity of manna that was made available to the Israelites, and that it was made available to the Israelites for over 40 years in all 4 seasons of each year. Even in the midst of their complaints, God had compassion for the Israelites. Now, in our gospel reading for today, Jesus has already walked on the water. Jesus has already calmed the sea, which was tossing the disciples about in the boat. He now arrives on shore. The crowds that meet him are puzzled and confused. They have no idea how he got there. These are the same people just the other day that were fed by 2 fish and 5 loaves. How did you get here? We didn't see you leave in the boat. They are asking the wrong questions. They are more interested in his signs and more interested in his miracles than in what those signs indicate. Jesus tells them, and he must be faithful to the one who sent him. Once again, they miss the point. They want to see more signs. They want to see more miracles. They remember how Moses worked wonderful signs and produced bread for them in the desert. Jesus has to remind them that it wasn't Moses who provided the food. It was God the Father who performed the great work of feeding the people. The crowd is oblivious when Jesus tells them that he is the bread of life. How often do we miss the point of what God is trying to communicate to us? Bread is a daily staple on which people survive. We often call the one who earns the money in the family the breadwinner. Nowadays, it takes 2 to 3 of those breadwinners. God is our bread producer. He created the world and continues to allow food to be grown for our consumption. God is also the one whom we rely on to nourish us each day as we say the Lord's Prayer. Give us this day our daily bread. The key characteristic about bread is that it's usual, it's ordinary, but so very vital for us. Like the people in the gospel, are we struck by certain aspects of God's actions, but miss the most important point of that action? Are we wowed by the extraordinary or miraculous, but we miss God's touching of our lives on a daily basis? Do we want to be shown signs of God's presence and action in our lives? And do we miss the fact that God is always present to us each and every moment of every day?